Hey guys, and welcome to the video. So today I'd like to talk about intermittent fasting and how it can help you lose weight. So in case you've never heard of intermittent fasting, all it is not eating for certain periods of time. And unless you get up in the middle of the night, you already kind of intermittent fast anyway, between your last meal in the evening and your breakfast in the morning. So that period of time throughout the night, you're intermittently fasting. Now, when we use intermittent fasting for dieting, all we're doing is extending that or using it in different ways to manipulate calorie intake. Now, a lot of people think there's something magic or something special about intermittent fasting. However, that is not the case at all. So all you're doing while not eating during certain periods of the day is cutting out calories. So when you cut your calories, you are putting your body into a calorie deficit, which is what we need for weight loss. So consuming fewer calories than your body needs. That's why you lose weight, not magic. And I quite like intermittent fasting as a method of weight loss because unlike many popular diets, it doesn't create silly rules like you can't eat carbs, or you can't eat sugar, or you can't eat fats. It manipulates time rather than the actual certain parts of your diet. So you can still eat quite a lot of things you enjoy, and it comes down to the time periods. So the calorie deficit is created by not eating during certain times rather than not eating certain things. Now, you've probably heard of a lot of the commercialized intermittent fasting diets. You've got the 5-2 diet, where you will eat normally for 5 days and then fast for 2 days of the week. You've got the 16-8 diet, where you'll fast for 16 hours a day and then eat during an 8-hour window during that day, whatever period you want to. You've got the warrior diet, where you usually eat one big meal at night with all your calories. You've got the eat, stop, eat diet, where you will eat normally for 1 day and then fast for 24 hours, eat normally for the second day and then fast for 24 hours, and so on throughout the week, and things like that. And like all diets, I say it's what fits you and not the other way around. And if you are going to do a form of intermittent fasting, you don't even need to follow a diet with a name. So you could say, for example, just skip breakfast, so you're not eating calories in the first part of the day, and then eat lunch all the way through to say 8 p.m, where you could eat in that window. And that would actually be a form of the 16-8 diet. So you'd be eating in an 8-hour period. Like I said, you couldn't eat before, and then after your dinner you wouldn't be able to eat any sort of snacks or anything else either. Now, even though intermittent fasting manipulates time rather than calories, the basic weight loss principle still applies. So you still need to be consuming fewer calories than your body needs. If you're not, then you won't lose weight. Simple as that. Like I said, there's no magic to intermittent fasting. It's just helping you reduce your calories by manipulating the time rather than the actual food you're eating. So a lot of people, when they consider going on an intermittent fasting diet, they're concerned about hunger because they think, oh, I'm going to be hungry all the time, and I don't want to be hungry all the time, and I don't like that feeling, and I don't think I can deal with it. So I've done intermittent fasting myself before. I've actually fasted for 24 and 36 hours. So I can tell you from experience that yes, you do feel hunger, but there's one really important thing you need to understand about hunger. Hunger is something that's undulating. So you will have a hunger that goes up and then down and up and down throughout the day. And this hunger sort of graph, let's call it, is linked to your normal eating times. So you'll feel hungry at the beginning of the day normally just because you're used to eating then. And then after that period of time has passed, you'll stop feeling hungry again. You'll stop feeling hungry. And then at lunchtime, you'll probably feel hungry again because you're used to eating then. And then it'll go back down. And whenever you have a normal eating period, you'll feel hungry. But with intermittent fasting, all you need to do, let's say you were doing a 24-hour fast, is just bear it and learn to ignore the fact that you were hungry. And maybe use some strategies to get around that, like drinking more water to feel full, or chewing some chewing gum, or even having a diet drink with no calories in it, just to sort of simulate having something sweet. And so yeah, it's something you learn as well, because once you've done it once or twice, you get used to the feeling, and that feeling of hunger no longer is a sort of, oh, I'm hungry, I need to eat thing. It's more of, yeah, I'm hungry, I could eat, but I'm not going to eat. I'm not going to die from not eating. and you feel less controlled by your hunger. You're controlling it rather than it controlling you. So that's when it becomes very powerful. Once you've done it a few times, you learn to realize that you have control over your hunger. And it really helps with cravings as well, because you learn to realize that you can control what you're eating. And the feelings you get, you can control those feelings as well. And you start to be able to deal with food a bit better. So the main point here is that hunger is just a signal saying, yeah, maybe we should eat. However, as we're trying to lose weight, we're going to ignore that signal and eat later on. So one of the main questions I get is that if I skip eating, isn't that unhealthy? It's not unhealthy because you're only skipping for a short period of time. The vitamins and minerals you get, you're definitely going to get in soon enough, so you don't need to worry about that. You've got enough energy because if you're losing weight, if you're trying to lose weight especially, you've got enough energy on your body in the stores of fat for weeks, if not months. So that's not an issue either. And like I said before, it's something that you can ease into. So you can start by doing a short fast, so maybe not eating until maybe 10 a.m. if you eat at 7 a.m. and just start to feel how hunger affects you, how it feels, and how you can ignore it, and how ignoring it isn't a problem. So going back to the health thing, there are a number of reasons that people do intermittent fasting, and there is an amount of positive research that shows that it might be beneficial for health. However, remember, there's always a difference between health and losing weight. So this video is specifically about weight loss. The stuff about health and fasting is not kind of strong enough yet to talk enough about. There are other reasons as well. So Ramadan with the Muslim fasting is something that's been popular for thousands of years. So that is where they don't eat during daylight hours and only eat at night when it's dark. So yeah, it's not just for weight loss, and it's not a new thing. So I'd just like to help that make a little more sense now with a couple of examples. So let's say, for example, you need 2,000 calories per day to maintain your weight. To lose weight, of course, you need to consume fewer than that. So let's say we drop that by 500 calories per day, and that means eating 1,500 calories per day. So over a week, that would mean adding the 500 calories up that you dropped out, and that would equal 3,500 calories. Now we know that there's 3,500 calories in 1 pound of body fat, so you would have dropped a pound in a week. Now that's fair enough and that's good. However, dieting like that doesn't work for everyone. So that's where intermittent fasting can really help. So let's use the 5-2 diet now to show you how you can drop that pound, but in a different way. So as you know, the 5-2 diet means eating your normal calories on 5 days, but on 2 days, you drop it down to 500. So over 5 days, you eat 2,000 calories in this example, and then on 2 days, you eat 500 calories. So over those 2 days, you're consuming 1,500 calories less on each of those days. Adding that up equals 3,000 calories. So that's almost a pound body fat. So all you need to do in this week is drop on a different day from 2,000 to 1,500, and that would mean you consumed 3,500 calories fewer in that week, and it would help you drop a pound of fat. So I hope that makes sense. You've eaten similar amounts, you've eaten the same amount on most of your days, your 2,000 calories, you've not been on a diet, but on 2 days, you've eaten a lot less, so 1,500 less. So adding those 1,500s up equals 3,000. You're almost at a pound of body fat, you're almost at 3,500. So you just need to drop another 500 calories somewhere else in the week. It could be 250 twice, or it could be 500 once. But what it means is that you're mostly restricting your calories all in one go, rather than in smaller equal amounts over every day of the week. And what this means is that it can fit in with your lifestyle sometimes a lot easier. So say you're going out for a meal, you can go out for a meal and it could be one of your 2,000 calorie days rather than 1,500 calorie on a traditional diet, or the 500 calorie on the 5-2 diet. You can leave those for days where you know you're not going out and don't have to eat so much. So that's how it could be applied to fit into your lifestyle, and that's how it can work a lot better for some people than a traditional cut out every day kind of diet. Now another similar way to do it would be a 24-hour fast. So in this example with the person that was having 2,000 calories per day normally, what they would do is eat 2,000 calories over every day of the week. However, 2 of the days they would eat nothing. So what they do is they then save 4,000 calories. So that's actually more than a pound of fat. So if this person ate 2,000 calories for 5 days of the week and just picked 2 of those days where they ate nothing, then they'd be losing more than a pound of body fat, because they would be consuming 4,000 calories less over that week. What that could mean is if they just wanted to lose a pound, they could actually eat more on one day. So they could eat 2,500 calories on one day. So say they were going out for a meal on the weekend, they could have 500 calories of wine or cake or a bigger meal and still be losing 3,500 calories over the week and still be losing that pound of body fat, because the 2 days of 24-hour fasting added up to 4,000 calories, which was actually more than the pound of body fat. So this is how fasting can really help you in certain situations to stick to your diet and still enjoy the process. So that's all I really want to say on fasting for now. I hope it made sense and I hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, like, share and comment, and I'll see you in the next one.